Hello everybody, good afternoon. My name is Florian. I'm from the company Ranorex, which is located in Graz. Today I want to give you an overview of Ranorex and how you can tackle test automation challenges with Ranorex. What's on the agenda for today? First of all, I want to speak out some Ranorex facts. Then I want to come over how Ranorex actually works. I want to introduce to you how you get fast and valuable feedback with Ranorex. And since Ranorex is interested in a good relationship with our customers, I want to show you ways how you get in touch with Ranorex and how you can raise your voice because you're excited, for example, for a certain feature. And at the end of the presentation, I want to show you what's up next on our roadmap regarding features. Okay, so move on to the hard facts. Actually, Ranorex is turned out this year to become 10 years old. It was founded 2007 and is, as I said, located in Austria, in Graz. Austria is famous for skiing there. And all the development is done in Graz itself. We have around 100 people there. We have sales located, pre-sales, support, and everything there. But we also have another office in the US, in Florida, and they are also providing best services for all the customers in the same time zone there. And exciting news for the Ranorex, we've been acquired by Idera in October 2017, not that long ago. This gives us a broad range of opportunities since we are now in a row with companies like Empacadero, which is known for Delphi, also Gurok, which is known as a test management tool called TestRail, and also Censure. So let's see what's coming up next in the future. Good. That was it with the hard facts. No, not actually. We have two more slides here. Worldwide, Ranorex has around 3,000 customers worldwide. Most of them are based in Northern America, but also in Europe. And this wouldn't be possible without a great network of partners like CTG here. So we also around the world, we have a lot of partners like service partners, distribution partners. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention something. When I come back to customers, we also have great customers here in Belgium, which made it as Ranorex customers with the help of CTG. Thank you for that. Two of them are KO Leuven and Brussels Airlines. And this wouldn't be possible without our great partner network all around the world. We have different partner types: service partner, distribution partner, and also technology partner. Good, so let's actually start with the funny part. How does Ranorex actually works? So if you start at the core, Ranorex is a test automation tool which lets you to create functional UI tests. And since Ranorex is based on the .NET framework, it lets you almost automate all technology based on Windows. And you can also do and record web tests as well. With the help of Selenium, you're also able to run your tests on other platforms than Windows. And Ranorex is also capable of running and creating mobile tests as well, like for iOS and mobile. So in these terms, you're also able to create cross-platform tests over multiple platforms. So this is basically the core. And on top of the core, we have a very interesting and important artifact. It's called the Ranorex repository. Every time when you interact with your SUT or the AUT, you need to interact with a repository item in Ranorex. This is very important for us. So every time when you work with Ranorex, you are creating a repository. You're structuring the repository with UI elements, and these UI elements then are used for your automation. And those repository elements are only working because we have something special in the background. It's called the RX path, which makes the whole test automation reliable to you. It identificates the elements during recording, during the creation of tests, and also during the test automation. And it, tries to find every time the new element you want to automate. Good. Based on that, we have the so-called test suite. The test suite is the main thing in the UI which lets you create test solutions. You create single test cases there and create your tests there. So we have different approaches for different users. When it comes to testers, most of the time testers want to interact with a certain UI. They do not want to develop at a certain point. So we have so-called recording modules. And with this recording modules, it's easy to create tests in the test suite by just simply drag and drop it. While on the other side, we have also code modules, which enables the testers to also participate in the test creation process. And the good thing here on Ranorex is that both worlds, testers and as well as developers, can participate in the test creation process and work on the same test solution there. That brings me to our next slide. How can this assist you or assist your teams in general? So as I said, we are providing a solution for both worlds, for testers and developers. On the one side, testers, we give testers an easy way to get starting with Ranorex, as we provide the record and replay functionality. This helps you out to understand how Ranorex actually works. So when you're new to Ranorex and you want to create your first test case, you simply click the record button, and and all your actions on the SUT get recorded, and you actually see how actions in the test suite are created, and also how repository items get created. This is really useful at the very beginning when you're interacting with Ranorex. But as you move forward, you're getting faster in creating tests when you're doing all those actions manual. But it gives you a good support when you're starting with Ranorex. But on the other side, as a developer, you also can participate, as I said, in writing your own code and create your tests there. And the good thing here is since we are based on the .NET framework, it allows you to integrate any other .NET framework you want to, so like behavior-driven developments, the frameworks. When it comes to mixing up teams, cross-functional teams, we need to bring together testers and developers in a certain way. And this we could do with the user code library. The user code library is a great functionality in Ranorex, which allows you as a developer to create functions, methods, and share those methods to other colleagues in your testing team. And the testers then are able to select those methods within Ranorex and use those methods during the automation. For example, if you have a complex situation where you need code to test the actional component of your application in the test, you ask a developer who writes code for you. He provides this method, and then the tester can actually select this method via the user code library. And this method can be used multiple times in your project then. So this is a very, very useful feature in Ranorex, since it brings teams together. And based on this concept, Ranorex has introduced with the latest version 7.2 the so-called automation helpers. The automation helpers are a bunch of code, but also of Ranorex modules that are delivered via NuGet. NuGet is a packaging source which is available online, and you can download those packages directly in Ranorex Studio and access those code fragments and modules and use them directly in your project if you want. So this way we can actually deploy or deliver fast features for our customers, which are not part of our Ranorex solution itself as the Ranorex Studio, but we can deliver small fragments like how you, if you want to convert your report to PDF, we can actually do that by simply using our automation helper, therefore. Or if you want to send your report to anyone after the test run has failed or succeeded, you can actually do that with the automation helper. So this is a cool way to enrich your test automation project with the automation helpers. And since the automation helpers are not delivered with Ranorex itself, so with the new Ranorex version, but they are available online, we are totally outside the Ranorex release cycle. So Ranorex is maintaining these code snippets and methods very regular, very often, and provides new updates every time. For instance, a customer requests a new feature. So we did that in the past, and we are trying to deliver very frequently new helpers there. Good. So how can you get fast and valuable feedback with Ranorex? I mean, basically, Ranorex works that you create your own tests on your local machine during design time, which means that you're recording, creating a test, and then you run it locally on the same machine. But Ranorex has also different approaches how you can run your test. This works also with Ranorex agents, and those agents are installers that get installed on different machines, like if you have different environments, Windows 7, Windows 8.1, Windows 10, and so on. And every time you want to run those tests on those different environments, you can simply do that via the Ranorex Studio and run them on those tests. And your machine that you're working on is not blocked during this execution. That's the good thing here. But we're also capable of running web tests. You can do that like in the ways I've told before, locally or via the Ranorex agents. But also, Ranorex has Selenium support there. We are supporting the WebDriver, so this allows you to run your web tests on different platforms via Selenium. And we have there an integration there. What I did not list here is the continuous integration possibilities. I will come to that later. When it comes to valuable feedback, we have a cool new feature at the start, which is not out yet. It's called the maintenance mode. When you have a lot of tests, you run into the problem that it takes a lot of time that you really maintain your tests. So, for example, if you have 300 test cases and the application on the test changes because you have out a new version there and you need to adapt all your tests, then what actually is in place now is that you start your tests, you're running into an exception, you're correcting the values behind your test case, you're running it again, you're running into another exception, and so on. So this takes quite of time. And with the maintenance mode, we want to reduce the time that is needed for maintaining test cases actually. So with this feature, you would be able to turn your test suite into maintenance mode, run your test, and every time an exception is occurring, Ranorex stops the execution or pauses the execution and alerts the user that something is wrong there, that an element cannot be found during, I don't know, maybe the path behind this element changed and you need to pre-select the element. So this gives the user the opportunity to select or to react to this certain error and make it right, to correct it. So once you have corrected that element, maybe you've just tracked another element in there, it's not necessary that you know how to write a Ranorex path, but you can simply use our spy and just click on the element that you think is the right one, and then you say, okay, edit and retry, and after the test run has gone through, you get a list of all the exceptions which have occurred during the test run, and you can actually use those corrected values and bring it over to your project. So the good thing here with the maintenance mode is that it doesn't actually stop at a certain point and aborts the test run, but it stops, you can correct the value, it turns on running, uses the new value, and goes on to the next value or to the next exception that occurs, and you can fix all those errors which are happening. So this time it just uses one test run and you're fixing all the errors and bring it back to a test suite, and that I think is a good way to save time and money. Good. So next I want to talk a little bit about integrations. Since Ranorex uses standard technologies like the .NET framework, XML, XUnit, XSLT, what's not on this list is JUnit, we can nearly integrate in everything which has uses open standards. And there's also a click and go integration provided by Connect All, which allows you to connect to a bunch of tools already out there. And what Ranorex already provides is integration on the continuous integration system side for TeamCity, Hudson, Jenkins, Bamboo. So you can trigger Ranorex tests via those tools and also see the test results on these systems there. On the other side, on the test manage tool side, there's actually no click and go integration so far. So it's not we are not able of doing providing an integration where you just simply use Ranorex by adding it, but it needs a little bit of configuration. You need to use the Ranorex API to integrate into your tool, like the mentioned test automation tools, and also in the previous presentation we saw Adaptavis. This would also be possible due to our open API that you use Ranorex and Adaptavis there. When you move forward into integrations, we have another integration there. When it comes to load testing, this could also be a topic for some of you. This is actually not doable with Ranorex itself, but you need some other tools like Neotus is providing Neoload as a tool which can do load testing for you. And Ranorex provides an integration, a tight integration into this tool, and you can use Neoload directly from Ranorex Studio itself. If you want to know more about this integration, you can directly talk to Neotus. They are also started here, and I guess they have a talk right after me, or correct me if I'm wrong. But they have a talk, and I'm pretty sure if you have questions, go to their booth or as well to my booth, and I'm happy to answer them. Good. So, what's coming next? We have a new major version on the start, which will be released by the end of this year. So I guess it will be December. So November is almost over. And we have a bunch of cool new features in there. As I explained, maintenance mode is one of the top-rated features in there. It really saves you time in maintaining your tests. And another one is the installation-free test execution. It took us quite some time to realize that, but the potential is huge. If you think about environments where you have restrictions due to some company policies where you're not allowed to install anything there, but you want to run some tests there, this is possible with Ranorex. You can simply build your test and run it on this environment without installing anything. So we are providing everything in there. You can just copy the test package to your environment where you want to test it and run it there without installing anything. The only thing that is needed is valid license, but that's everything mostly. And of course, as in every major version, we are providing UI improvements in Ranorex Studio. We are getting darker and darker. It's not really a dark theme, but I think we are narrowing to it. Good. So this was the short term. Let's come up to the long-term goals. As I said at the beginning, Ranorex is now in the same line with Gurok. It's pretty obvious that we will provide or come up with a test rail integration. So test rail is a great tool for test management, and we want to integrate into this great test rail tool. We are at the very beginning of this. We need to think about the requirements, what's necessary, but I guess I'm pretty sure that we will do a really tight integration into test rail. And also because of the fact that Empacadero is now a brother or sister of us, we will do a Delphi plugin. We already before Adira acquired us, we saw a huge potential on this side, since there are a lot of Delphi applications out there, which are maintained, but actually they are developed, so they need also to be tested somehow. And we want to provide a better support for Delphi applications as well. Good. As I said in the beginning, also, it's important for us that we have a good relationship to our customers and that we know what our customers want. And this is also why we come to an event like this one from CTG. We want to talk to customers, see what their actual needs are. And we have several ways how you can raise your voice and tell us what you actually want and what your problems are. And the first thing is what I want to mention, the Ranorex beta program. We are providing a beta version of our current implementation every month and let you know what's actually implemented, what's our current status of Ranorex is. And with this version, you can also give us feedback directly from Ranorex Studio, whether this works out for you, if you see that more potential on a certain feature, if you have other feedback that something is broken as well. So this ties us better together to our customers. Another thing is user voice. We have the user voice in place. This is some kind of a forum which lets you create ideas there and also vote other ideas of other users. And this gives us a better feeling what is actually needed from a broad range of customers and lets us interact with you as customers. We as a product management team, we are always behind the user voice. We are moderating it. We are writing comments there. We are writing back when something is in implementation, when something is out there, when something is in the Ranorex beta program. And you can also write their comments if something is more needed. So I think this is really a good chance to raise your voice in this forum and give us your feedback. But of course, there are also some other ways to get in contact with us. First of all, our Ranorex support and also our great Ranorex sales team. Since we are always in touch with them, it's no problem to talk to them, to tell you what is actually needed. Most of the time, we are hearing to them and implementing those features or those bug fixes they want or they have listed from our customers. And of course, through our great partner of CTG, we are in great contact with CTG every time we have calls with them and we talk about needs and pains of customers also from Belgium. So now I'm at the end of my presentation. I hope you have some questions for me. I'm also available at my booth at the very back of this room there outside. If you want to see a demo, I can show you there, and I can answer your question there as well. Thank you.